Hello, I am Norman, and me and my group will give a brief recap of introduction and explanation about the history of computers. First off, we need to understand what is a computer. A computer is a machine that can be programmed to accept input, process it into an output, and store it in a secondary storage device. There are four primary components to a computer, which is input, processing, output, and storage. And then we need to understand what is literacy. There are two literacy: information literacy and computer literacy. First, we need to take a look at information literacy. Information literacy is basically how to gather information, how to evaluate this information, and how to make an informed decision. It also requires critical thinking. Computer literacy is basically awareness of their importance, knowledge on how computers work, and how we can interact with it.
Let's continue to the next slide, in which we talk about the advantages and disadvantages of computers. Now, the advantages of computers include the ease of communication, it's time reducing, it's a multitasking device because you can do multiple things at once, listening to music, doing your work, and also communicating with friends. You can find a lot of entertainment because of computers. You can handle your online business very well because data is stored in one place. You can market yourself to find good job opportunities on the internet. You can educate yourself on certain topics and make a lot of research on a certain topic, and also do online classes. Online banking is way easier due to online transactions on the internet. Computers serve as like a medium of information, a nexus between humans and information. And lastly, computers have a great storage capability in which we can save and store our most cherished moments, videos, and pictures in one hard disk. Now let's talk about the disadvantages of computers. Number one, it makes people lazier, and this relates a lot to our second point, in which it induces more sitting. Because people are lazier due to how easy it is to access everything, we will sit more, and this is not healthy for our bodies. Next, there's a privacy concern in which our information is stored all in one database and it could be breached at any moment. Next, scams are more prevalent because people, especially the elderly, are not too well informed about how to use computers. Computers can lead to time sinking and distractions due to how easy it is to access entertainment and everything. Cyberbullying is also another problem that is very prevalent because of computers, due to how there's no filter on the internet. And lastly, spending too much time on the internet and computers can lead to antisocialness and also depression. Those are the advantages and disadvantages of computers.
Alright, so let's go to the next slide, in which we talk about where can we find computers. So computers can be found in a variety of places. Here's a gallery to show where computers can be found. These include health and medicine, agriculture, robotics, energy, transportation, paperwork, law enforcement, money, home training, graphics and multimedia, and lastly, retailing and business.
Hello everyone. I want to introduce history of computer. 1822, Charles Babbage proposed a machine called the difference engine. 1833, Charles Babbage invented the more sophisticated analytic engine. 1890, Herman Hollerith provided data processing equipment due to the US Census needing better data processing. 1900, analog computing devices become way more common in this era, especially for scientific computation. 1930, Vannevar Bush MIT constructed a large differential analyzer that was capable of integration and differentiation. 1938 and 1942 Athanas of Perry computer ABC, which was an experimental machine for solving system of simultaneous linear equation, was invented by the Iowa State University. 1944 Howard Aiken, funded by IBM, built Mark I, which is the first large-scale automatic digital computer in the USA. 1946 Dr. John Moseley built the world's first general-purpose electronic computer, the ENIAC, Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer. 1950 John von Neumann built the EDVAC, Electronic Discrete Variable Automatic Computer, which was one of the earliest electronic computers and was the successor to the ENIAC. 1951 the beginning of the commercial computer age can be dated to June 14, 1951. And about 55 years we have leapfrogged thought for generation of technology, the vacuum tube, the transistor, the integrated circuit, the microprocessor.
Generations of computers between 1951 until 1958. Electronic tubes with the size of light bulbs used as the internal computer components. It generated a great deal of heat, but is subject to frequent burnout. Usually, people operating the computer didn't know whether the problem was in the programming or in the machine. And language used in programming was machine language, which uses numbers, making programming the computer difficult and time-consuming. In the second generations, in 1959 until 1964, Bell Lab scientists, which is J. Bardeen, H. W. Brattain, and W. Shockley, have developed the transistor. The transistors was much smaller than vacuum tubes, needed no warm-up time, consumed less energy, and were faster and more reliable. Another important development was the move from machine language to assembly language. It's also called symbolic language. In 1962, the first removable disk pack was marketed. The storage supplemented magnetic tape systems and enabled users to have fast access to desired data. For the third generation, in 1965 until 1970, an integrated circuit or IC is a complete electronic circuit on a small chip of silicon, which is a semiconductor. In 1965, integrated circuits has begun to replace transistors in computers. The chips were hailed as a generational breakthrough because they had desirable characteristics such as reliability, compactness, low cost, and the beginning of the third generation was trumpeted by the IBM 360 series. For the fourth generation, in 1971 until now, the microprocessor, IBMs have made decision to unbundle software to sell the software separately from the hardware. This approach led to the creation of today's software industry. Software became more sophisticated during this third generation. Through the 1970s, computers gained dramatically in speed, reliability, and storage capacity. A microprocessor contains millions of tiny transistors. For the last generation, which is in the future, term coined by the Japanese to describe the powerful, intelligent computers they wanted to build by the mid-1990s. The term evolved to encompass elements in several research fields related to computer intelligence, which is artificial intelligence, expert systems, and natural language. The true focus is connectivity, whereas the massive industry effort to permit users to connect their computers to other computers. And the last one, the concept of the information superhighway has captured the imaginations of both computer professionals and everyday computer users.
Types of computers. Knowing there are different types because not all computers are the same. Personal computers, mobile computers and mobile devices, game consoles, servers, mainframes, supercomputers, embedded computers. Thank you for watching. We hope for an excellent future of computers. Sincere thanks by Ashiran, Norman, Emir, Hussein and Arham.